Welcome to another video by ILGM. Today's topic is iControl WebStudio Advanced. We've got a bunch of mini topics actually in this video, and we're going to be covering them quite rapidly. But I'm going to go ahead and put in the show notes the time breakdown of where each one of these start. That way, if you only have a need to watch a little bit about something, you'll have a quick way to get there. Most of these are going to be pretty short, but they don't really warrant their own video, so I'm going to bundle them all together into this one. But there's a lot of good information here, and if you have time, I'd really advise you to go ahead and watch the whole thing. I'm going to assume at this point you already know how to log into the back office, and you're fairly familiar with editing and deleting pages. Alright, the first topic we're going to cover is includes. Includes are the ability to run external applications in a page. This is the way that iControl WebStudio connects different external applications such as the event module, the shopping cart, real estate tools, and so on to a page and associated by the administrators so that the visitors can get access to the data. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the custom homes page on this website, and we're going to add in the real estate tool in here so that homes for a particular area can be displayed. And it's going to dynamically generate those homes out of the database. So when we get into the back end, we'll go to content editing, page management, we'll go to custom homes, and we'll go to edit. And this is another example, or a good example I should say, of having multiple objects. So we're going to go ahead and create a new object. We're going to call it homes. We're going to give it an order of 2 so it places after the other one. We're going to come over to the include list. We are going to add in home search results, and let's hit finish. So here's our new object. It's in the second column. We'll go ahead and activate it, and let's go see what we have over here. Now currently what it's done is it's pulled every home out of the database, and that's not exactly what we want. What we actually want is we only want homes for Cathedral Pines, because that's only where we build custom homes. We'll go back to the page, we'll go back to the object, and in the include options we'll go ahead and add in Cathedral Pines. And this could be a shopping cart category, this could be an event category, there's all kinds of stuff in here, and you can put in multiple categories by adding commas and then adding the next category. So we'll go ahead and hit apply again and take a look at what we have. This will only bring up the Cathedral Pines homes. Here they are right here. So let's go ahead and add in a paragraph title. So we'll come back here and we'll type in available homes. So we have available homes ready for quick move-in. Alright, go ahead and add a style to that. Go ahead and hit apply and hit reload. Okay, there's our headers, titles, and our content information. That's how you do includes. And now with multiple objects, if you want to turn this on or off, you can. If you want to set a schedule so that it turns it on and off based on a schedule, you can also do that. That's one of the really good things about having multiple objects in a page, is it gives you a little bit more granular control over your content. So now let's head on back home. And one of the other things that about this page is that I'm not really happy about is the fact that this page is using just the generic global header, and I'd like to go ahead and change that to give it its own look. So I'm going to go over to custom homes, I'm going to go to page properties, and from here let's go ahead and close that and open up header and image. I'm going to go ahead and upload a new image. So right now we have this one with this fireplace or TV screen, I guess, and this house over here. Let's go browse the hard drive. Let's see, I have one down here somewhere. Okay, there's a new one. And let's go ahead and hit apply. And this is going to upload the header. We've got it called header demo to the page, and it's going to replace it just for this particular page. See, now we've got different images, different photos, You know, and I'm still not 100% on this image. I think it just lacks a little bit of luster. I mean, these are custom homes. So let's go ahead and replace this image with a movie, with a video. So we're going to go back to here. I'm going to go ahead and take out this demo image that we created. I'm going to go to my favorite video server, which is YouTube, Ooyala, Vimeo, what have you, and down here in Custom Advanced Features, I'm going to go ahead and just paste in the embed tag from the video and go ahead and hit apply. And this will replace that top image with that video. Now you need to make sure that your video height and width is going to fit properly. Let's just take a look at this for a second. So you need to make sure the height and the width of your video is exactly the same measurements as the header of the rest of your website. And if you do that, then it'll plug right in nice and seamlessly, just like we did here. Alright, now on to a little known feature called Popups, and these are pages that actually don't fill up the whole screen, they're just pop-up windows. They're very useful for enhancing bits of information. So right now let's go ahead and create a homepage pop-up. We'll call it Homepage Popup. You create them just like you would a normal page, every day, plain Jane vanilla. And the difference is under the page types. We're going to go ahead and call it a pop-up. We'll give it a width and a height. We'll say 500 by 300. And page pop-ups don't need any navigation because they're not going to run in the main navigation. They're just going to be linked to as a pop-up. So we're going to jump right straight to edit the page. We'll go to edit object, and I'm going to go ahead and edit the source. I already have the content in here to make this a little bit faster. So that's what we're going to put in there. We're going to go ahead and say finish, go back home, and now it's going to be down in here in the orphan pages because we do not have it assigned to a navigation anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and link it to the home page. I'm going to make it a child over there, keep everything grouped together. Home page is 20,000, so I do 20,100 just to keep it up there at the top. Go ahead and select home, hit apply and finish. And now it's going to show up underneath the home group right here. So there's my home page. I'll go ahead and activate it. And right now it's just a plain Jane vanilla pop-up. And we'll go ahead and grab the link, and I'll show you how that works. Copy that link to the clipboard. We'll go ahead and edit the home page. This is going to be a very basic disclaimer like what's on here at the bottom, but in a pop-up. I'm just going to pick some text here out of the content. We'll go ahead, hit the link tool, and we'll paste that in. We don't need a target because this is a pop-up, so it's already built the JavaScript for you. So we'll say OK. We'll go ahead and apply this on the home page and go take a look at what that's done. So we'll come back up here and head home. Here's our pop-up right here. So when we click on it, we get a nice little window. It's tweaked a little bit, but that's okay. We can adjust that as well. So that's how pop-ups work. Now we have a nice little pop-up message that we can put in there that has a bunch of information. But we can also apply this to the home page and make it show up every time somebody lands on the home page. And this is how we would do that. So we'll come back over here. I'm going to go ahead and take this link off. So I just click in the link area, click the broken chain, and that'll finish that. We'll go ahead and hit apply. We'll come back to properties. Actually, let's go to finish. We're done with the home page itself. We'll go to the page properties for the pop-up window, and we'll change this to homepage pop-up, and we'll keep it at 500 wide. That looked pretty good, but we'll do 250. We'll do 200 wide this time, and we'll say finish. And now what's going to happen is when people land on that home page, it's going to pop up automatically. See, there's our pop-up window with our message inside of it, and we are good to go. Alright, now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about navigation and the different types of navigation images or items, if you will, that are available. There's actually 3. We're going to go ahead and create a demo page so that we can see how this looks, and we're just going to call it test navigation. And we'll go ahead and get started here. We're going to leave everything just regular and jump right over to the navigation section right down here. And right now this site is set up to default to using dynamic images, and that's what these are. These are mouse over images that are defined with blanks like you see here, and then you go ahead and type in whatever text that you want, and then you can go ahead and create it. If we hit create right now, it's going to create that with test navigation, and we can type whatever we want to in here. It doesn't matter what the page title is. We can call it my navigation if we want. And this is how the system dynamically creates these images. So here it is. When you mouse over, this is what it's going to be. And the defaults for this are set up down here if you have access to it in a section called navigation. And since this is on the left, this is going to be the left hand side, and this is where everything is set up: height, width, colors, the whole 9 yards. Everything about the navigation is built right here. Now again, this is dynamic navigation, and in some cases we're using custom, so the difference for that would be over here. And what custom navigation is custom navigation gives you the ability to actually create your navigation in Photoshop or an image editor of some sort, and then upload them directly to the system, and you have an on state and an off state. That way, when this will be the off state, and then when your mouse goes over it, that's going to be your on state. So you'll need 2 for custom navigation. The other option is, we'll go ahead and close this up, is plain text. And if you're running plain text, which a lot of websites are, this is all going to be defined by the styles in the style sheet. In navigation for plain text, there's a couple of places to go for customizing this. The first place you're going to go is site options. You're going to go to positions, and you're going to define over here what you want the class for the styles to be. I'll go ahead and do that real quick. So now that I've got all those classes typed in, we'll go ahead and hit apply, and then from here you can go ahead and define the styles. So to do that, we'll duplicate this tab, and we'll go to Site Defaults in Site Styles, and this is the style sheet. This is where you're going to define what that navigation does. So I don't believe that I have, nope, we don't have anything in here right now, so we'll do that here in just a second. But first, let's go ahead and finish the page and get the page into navigation. So we'll come back over here, we'll go back to Content Editing, Page Management. We'll scroll down to the orphans. There's our test navigation. We'll go ahead and click on navigation. It's set for plain text. Show it in the main nav. Show it on every page. Go ahead and give it a generic content object, so go ahead and hit edit. Go ahead and hit edit object. And I believe I have a snippet in here. We'll just do generic content. Say OK. This will just put in generic content just like you see there. We'll go ahead and hit finish. We'll go ahead and go home. We'll come down to the bottom and go ahead and activate the page. So now when we look at the page, or the home page, we will now see test navigation, and it's going to be towards the bottom right here, because that's the way the CSS is defined. And as you can see, it's really not happy because this site's really designed for dynamic. So let's go back and look and see what that looks like. So we'll come back over here, we'll change it from plain text to dynamic. We'll select dynamic and hit apply. Towards the bottom, there it is right there, and it doesn't match the rest, but we'll go ahead and change that to test navigation. Go ahead and hit create, and when we hit reload now, it's going to be proper format. So now it says test navigation. But let's go ahead and jump back to the plain text and take a look at that and hit apply and see how this can work. So we'll go ahead and open this up, hit reload, and you'll know now that we've got test navigation right here. So this is where styles come in. So I'm going to go ahead and create a couple of styles real quick. Creating styles is beyond the scope of this video. We'll get into that later, but I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added in some styles. This is the style sheet. I'm going to go ahead and told it what I wanted to do. Well, we got transforming. Let's go ahead and do underline. And now we've told it, we want it padding this size, we want this color, we want that to be all uppercase, the font size, and so on. So when we come back over here and we look at our font and our style, it's not going to be exact because it's not supposed to. But as you can tell, now we have text navigation, and it'll do all kinds of stuff. Different kinds of text navigation can also, if we wanted to, we could utilize the text boxes, the background coloring, and everything. CSS is pretty powerful, but the dynamic ability to generate your images is what really makes iControl shine. Makes it really quick and easy, and gives you a lot of control, and also gives you the ability to have non-programming admins in the system at editing, deleting pages, and that's a big plus. So we'll go ahead and put that back, and now you've got an idea of how that works. One more aspect of the navigation that is really unique to what we do is the navigation headers. You'll notice here we have different navigation items categorized by these headers. We're going to go ahead and take this navigation and we're going to move it up above relocation guide, and we're going to change it into a nav header. And basically what a nav header is, it's a fixed page without any content, but it doesn't link anywhere, which gives us a placeholder in our navigation to actually customize it and be a little bit unique and different than your standard boilerplate template kind of sites. So let's take a look at how that happens. These orange bars are the nav headers. So we're going to move this test navigation up above the relocation guide. So we're going to change the order to say 53,500, and then we're going to convert it into a header, and then we're going to use custom navigation to do so. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over to page properties and change this to 53,500. That'll put us up at the top that we want. I'm going to come over here to page type, and I'm going to tell it it's a nav header instead of a regular page. And then I'm going to go down to the navigation. Right now it's using basic dynamic images, which you can use. Headers can be set up in the navigation just like regular pages can, but we're actually going to come over here and we're going to upload our own custom image. So let's scroll down here and find our image that we created. There it is. Go ahead and hit apply. Now it says test nav header. So as you can tell, it's a little bit different height. It's got a different look to it. And now when we go back here and we look at this, we now have the nav header in there. Nice, simple, and clean. Really, really easy way to group all your stuff together. Another unique feature of iControl WebStudio is the ability to have pages that are not inside your website in your navigation. This is something that most of the other systems cannot do, but we do very well. So let's go down here and look at our test page, and again, everything's a page, if you will. So we're going to go ahead and change this back to a regular page instead of a header so that it's actually linkable. We'll go ahead and hit apply. We'll take a look and see what that looks like. I guess we need to go and update our navigation, right? So it's trying to work both, and what we really want is we want dynamic. So we'll go ahead and tell it to create. There's our system that will automatically apply it. So we'll go down here and hit reload. So there's our test navigation. Let's go ahead and change the order again. So it gets it down below at the bottom of the list so that we can see it a little bit better. So now we click on our test navigation. It's just going to go to the default page that we set up. So we'll go ahead and click that. There's the default content that we put in there. We'll go ahead and go back home. Now, what we really want to do is we want to redirect this to another website or another website page. So how do we do that? Let's go in here. Let's come down to test navigation. Let's go into page properties. And let's go ahead and collapse that, and let's open page redirection. Now we can redirect it to an external page, and a reason why you might want to do that is maybe you've got top navigation and you want it to be on the side as well. But really where this shines is we're going to set it up and we're going to go to a new URL. So we're going to send them over to ilgm.com, and we're going to go ahead and set it open in a new window so that we don't lose our website. And we'll go ahead and hit apply. And now we have this link built into our navigation system, and it'll actually take you to a different website. And this is really good if you have multiple engines running, or your cart is a different location, or you just need to link to somebody else's website. And it's pretty basic and simple. Now we're going to take a look at adding content to the left or in some cases the right columns, but in this case the left column. So we have this content down here, and this stuff is on multiple pages, but it's also a content object, and it shows up within a navigation. And where it shows up is really dependent on your admin or your designer. Underneath side options, underneath features, you have the ability to sort how you want each one of the left column items to show up. These are all items that are available to show up over there. You have the ability to scoot them up or push them down. But what we really want to concentrate on is the actual content. So let's come over here. Let's go back to page management. Let's go to the home page. And we notice that these three here are in the center column while the quote is in the left column. So what is the quote? Well, that's going to be the quote underneath here, and that's running underneath this question. And I'll talk about these two items here in just a moment. But this quote is only running on this page. Let's go ahead and add in another content object. So we're going to head and hit create. We're going to say just dummy text. Okay, so we're going to tell it, instead of center, we're going to say we want it on the left column, and we already have one at 1, so we're going to go ahead and set this to 2. We'll finish it, and we'll activate it, and we'll reload the page. And now you have content over here. There it is right there. So that works really well, and we can sort that around if we want to. We can scoot it up or scoot it down by using the side options. So we'll go ahead and show you how that works. So right now we're going to go ahead and take the content and let's just move it up and then hit apply. We hit reload, and now my content's up at the top. It's really that simple. So let's go ahead and move this back down and hit apply. But this content now is really only on the home page because that's where we've set it. It's not on the other pages. But we do have content like follow us and the questions on multiple pages. How did we do that? Okay, let's go in and let's delete our dummy text since we don't need it anymore, and let's go look at this tool called the banner tools. Now I'm not going to go real deep into the banner tool and how it works. I'm just going to give you some basics, but because there's another video for it. But in general, what it is, it started out as an advertising banner tool, and it really morphed into a banner control tool. You have the ability to do Flash or HTML or images or video or just about anything that you want to put in there. And right now we have the contact form and we have the social media underneath the general tab. And if we want to turn it on or off per page, all we do is go to content editing, page management, and this is where the features come in. So we can come over to the features page and we can say which groups or which banners that we actually want to display. So if we turn it off altogether, they'll disappear. If we need them to be in separate groups, we can set them up for separate groups. But see, now they're completely gone. So let's go ahead and turn those back on, and let's take a look at one like the social media. This is the social media banner. It's titled social media. It's just an HTML banner. This is where you'll decide what kind of banner you want. And then in general, it's just basic content like you've been editing throughout. But the difference is now you can have one area where this content lives, but it can be updated on your whole site. So if you ever have a change here, you just come in here, you edit, and boom, off you go. Real simple and real sweet. So we'll go ahead and make only these changes. I'll discuss the complete banner system in another video. Well, that's about all for today. It's quite a bit for one particular video. I do see quite a bit of room for other stuff like teasers and snippets and things like that, but we'll discuss those in later videos. I hope this was helpful to you, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me or give me a call.